I'm Arjun Mahendran. Let's take a look at what's making headlines around the world. A report released Tuesday by U.S. Special Counsel Jack Smith accuses Donald Trump of orchestrating an unprecedented criminal effort to remain in power after his 2020 election defeat. Smith's investigation led to a 4-count indictment alleging Trump obstructed the collection and certification of votes. Smith stated that the evidence gathered was sufficient to quote-unquote convict Trump at trial. However, the president-elect's November election victory made it impossible to proceed before his return to presidency. In response, Trump called Smith a lame-brained prosecutor on his Truth Social platform. Smith defended his investigation, calling claims of political bias laughable. The second section of the report, detailing allegations of Trump illegally retaining sensitive national security documents, remains sealed as legal proceedings against 2 associates continue. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's Republican allies in the U.S. House of Representatives are rallying support for a bill to authorize talks in purchasing Greenland. The proposed legislation, titled Make Greenland Great Again Act, is being spearheaded by Republican lawmakers Andy Ogles and Diana Harshberger. According to reports, the draft of the bill, which surfaced on Monday, has already garnered support from 10 co-sponsors. In fact, the initiative revives Trump's earlier interests in acquiring Greenland, which had sparked widespread international debate during his presidency. In West Asia, Israel and Hamas have inched closer to a hostage and ceasefire deal Monday. Mediators are reportedly awaiting a response from both sides to the final draft of an agreement that would see Hamas release 33 hostages after talks in Qatar resulted in what an Israeli official described as a breakthrough. The momentum marks the first sign of serious optimism in months as Donald Trump's inauguration next week upped the pressure for a deal. Trump's West Asia envoy participated in negotiations alongside Joe Biden's team, conveying a consensus between both administrations. Still, challenges remain. Israel's far-right finance minister said he would not back any truce to stop the war in what some have called a last-minute wrecking ball for negotiations. Listen into what the Israeli foreign minister, in fact, had to say.
Progress was made. We see some progress in the negotiations. Israel wants a hostage deal. Israel is working with our American friends in order to achieve a hostage deal. And soon we will know whether the other side wants the same thing.
The trial of impeached South Korean President Yoon is set to begin Tuesday, focusing on his controversial attempt to impose martial law, which plunged the nation into worst political crisis in decades. The Constitutional Court's first session may be brief, as Yoon is not expected to appear, remaining in his hillside villa in Seoul. The next session is scheduled for Thursday. The court has 180 days to decide whether to permanently remove Yoon from the office or restore his presidential powers. Meanwhile, the embattled president faces a separate criminal investigation for alleged insurrection, with authorities seeking to arrest him after he failed to comply with a summons for questioning. According to a Bloomberg report, members of President-elect Donald Trump's incoming economic team are discussing slowly ramping up tariffs month by month. Now, a gradual approach aimed at boosting negotiating leverage while helping avoid a spike in inflation. One idea involves a schedule of gradual tariffs increasing by about 2% to 5% a month and would rely on executive authorities under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The proposal, in fact, is in its early stages and has not yet been presented to Trump, a sign that a monthly stepped approach is early in the deliberation process. Jagmeet Singh, leader of the New Democratic Party and once an ally of former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, has warned U.S. President Donald Trump sternly over his plans to annex Canada. In a video posted on the social media platform X, Singh said, "Canada is not for sale, not now, not ever." He vowed retaliation if the U.S. imposes tariffs on Canada. Trump has been vocal about his plans to take charge of Canada and make it the 51st US state. Listen in to what Jagmeet Singh had to say.
I have a message for Donald Trump. Our country's not for sale. Not now, not ever. I lived across this country, and I can tell you, Canadians are a proud people. We're proud of our country, and we're ready to fight like hell to defend it. Right now, with the forest fires ravaging homes, Canadian firefighters showed up. That's who we are. We show up and support our neighbors. But if Donald Trump if you think you can pick a fight with us, there'll be a price to pay. I've committed that if Donald Trump imposes tariffs on us, we should respond with retaliatory tariffs in kind. I think that anyone running as Prime Minister should do the same.
Since Trudeau's resignation on Monday, Tesla CEO Elon Musk has posted repeatedly about Canadian politics on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, since till the time he bought it in 2022 for $44 billion. It has also given Musk an opportunity to inject himself into yet another country's political turmoil. Musk has praised clips of Pierre Poilievre, the leader of Canada's Conservative Party, while relishing in Trudeau's downfall and engaging with right-wing Canadian influencers as well. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun has summoned Nawaf Salam. Now he's the head of the International Court of Justice to designate him as the country's next prime minister. Salam secured the support of 84 out of 128 lawmakers, marking a significant political shift. This development is seen as a major blow to the Hezbollah, which has accused its opponents of attempting to sideline the group. Salam's nomination reflects changing dynamics among Lebanon's sectarian factions, following Hezbollah's setbacks in its war with Israel last year and the subsequent fall of its ally, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. The presidency confirmed that Salam, who is currently abroad, will return on Tuesday to take on the task of forming a government. Singapore President Tharman Shanmugaratnam will be on a state visit to India till the 18th of January at the invitation of President Draupadi Murmu. Now, Shanmugaratnam, his state visit, in fact, commemorates the 60th anniversary of the establishment of Singapore-India diplomatic relations. He will visit New Delhi from the 15th to 16th January and Odisha from 17th to the 18th of January. The Singapore president will also visit the World Skills Center, which was set up by Singapore's Institute of Technical Education Services. With funding from the Asian Development Bank and a vaccine manufacturing plant run by Bharat Biotech, this will be the Singaporean leader's first state visit to India and the first by any Singaporean president to New Delhi in 10 years. After a momentous visit to New Delhi last month, where the Sri Lankan leader assured New Delhi that Colombo would safeguard its maritime interests and security, Sri Lankan President Anura Kumara Dissanayake is set to visit China at the invitation of President Xi Jinping. During the visit, Dissanayake will hold bilateral talks with President Xi on a range of issues and areas of mutual interest. He will also meet the Chinese Premier, the chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of China. Dissanayake, who began his political career as an anti-India voice, has since shifted stance. India conveyed to Bangladesh Acting High Commissioner to India, Mohammad Nurul Islam, that New Delhi observed, quote-unquote, all protocols and agreements with regard to security measures at the border, including while fencing, the Ministry of External Affairs has said in its statement. The Bangladesh Acting High Commissioner to India, Mohammad Nurul Islam, was summoned by the MEA on Monday to the South Block at around 2 p.m. local time. India also reiterated its commitment to ensuring a crime-free border. Millions of Hindu devotees, mystics and holy men and women from all across India have flocked to the northern city of Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh for the Mahakumbh festival. It is indeed the world's largest religious gathering. Over about the next 6 weeks, Hindu pilgrims will gather at the confluence of three sacred rivers, the Ganges, the Yamuna and the Saraswati, where they will take part in elaborate rituals, hoping to begin a journey to achieve Hindu philosophy's ultimate goal, the release from the cycle of rebirth. At least 400 million people, more than the population of the US, are expected in Prayagraj over the next 45 days. Aircraft battling fires raging through the Los Angeles area are dropping more than water. Hundreds of thousands of gallons of hot pink flame retardants are being released from the skies and dropped ahead of flames in a desperate effort to stop them before they destroy more neighborhoods. Fire agencies say the suppressants are an invaluable tool as flames race through canyons and other rugged areas that are difficult for firefighters on the ground to reach. The hot pink mixture is generally considered safe for people, but many worry about their potential effects on wildfire. The police chief has said that many of those reporting missing during the devastating wildfires in LA have been found safe. Take a listen.
On the missing persons front, certainly a concern for everyone. At this time, we have 26 people reported missing. 17 of those have been found safe. Of the 9 remaining, 2 have most likely been found deceased, but we have yet to be able to positively identify those individuals. 1 has likely been found safe at a shelter, but refused contact with the police, and 6 remain unaccounted for.
As the destructive wildfires in LA rage on, the fire chief has said they are not in the clear as firefighters brace for explosive fire growth. Authorities claim firefighters are in a critical stage of their almost week-long battle against deadly LA blazes. Crews report progress, but the National Weather Service warns extremely critical conditions could spread the fires as dangerous winds return this week. At least 24 people have died and dozens are still missing. California Governor Gavin Newsom has said that there are likely to be a lot more deaths. Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden has called on the Congress to approve further funding to help rebuild areas devastated by fires once the blazes had been dealt with. Take a listen.
And, although the federal government is going to cover 100% of the cost for the next 180 days for things like firefighter overtime pay, debris removal, temporary shelters, it's going to cost tens of billions of dollars to get Los Angeles back to where it was. So we're going to need Congress to step up to provide funding to get this done. And we're going to get that done, God willing.
The forest fire that had begun almost 3 weeks ago in the Nahul Huapi National Park, one of the most beautiful reserves in the Argentine Patagonia, is now advancing and has already consumed more than 3,000 hectares. Officials said strong wind caused the rekindling of the fire on Monday, which generated large columns of smoke. The 70-kilometer gust prevented brigade members from entering the fire area. Nelson Lear, deputy head of the Forest Fire Prevention and Fighting Service in Barlock, said that the flames consumed dense vegetation in areas that were very difficult to access. It's time we step into a short break now. I'll see you on the other side.
Health isn't someday in the future. It's now. It's same-day GP appointments. Physio without GP referrals. Cancer testing, scans, and diagnosis fast. Questions for an expert at any hour about anything. Routine dental checkups every year for brighter smiles. Support that lasts for as long as it takes. Feeling your best every day starts today. Call or go online now for your quote.
I'll fix him, love. Poor pet. Just shows you never know what's going to happen. Which reminds me, I need to protect the life we've built. That's why I'm looking into smart family life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
OK. You can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000, depending on your age. If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. And it could help my husband with the mortgage.
Just like families, not all life insurance is the same. That's why we offer the Smart Family Guarantee.
That's good to know.
You'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cash back on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you'll also get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Protect the life you've built the smart way. To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 977 5753 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
Hey, look at our Simply Safe home security system.
Let's install it.
We need another camera.
What for?
They're collectibles. What?
Now you've got a camera each.
Yay!
Systems start from under £200 when you buy a professional monitoring plan. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
With retirement round the corner, I want to spend more time with my family and less time worrying about the numbers. Which reminds me.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote.
No problem. We're proud to offer our Seniors Lifetime Guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000.
And that money could help with funeral costs or even as a gift for the grandkids. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
You got them all right. That's amazing.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team on 0800 977 5808 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
Welcome back. You're watching the World Report on NDTV. The US dollar is holding near a 2-year high as traders reduce expectations for Federal Reserve rate cuts in 2025. With President-elect Donald Trump preparing to reintroduce tariffs, concerns over global trade and inflation are putting pressure on other major currencies like the euro, yen, and pound. Oil prices remain closer to 4-month highs as fresh US sanctions on Russian oil dominate market sentiment. Brent crude settled at $80.73 a barrel, while the WTI traded at $78.64 a barrel, following sanctions targeting Russia's shadow fleet of oil tankers. Hyundai, Stellantis, and Delta Airlines have announced 1 million donations each to President-elect Donald Trump's inaugural fund. Other corporate giants, including Boeing, Ford, and Amazon, are also contributing to the January 20th event. Now, Hyundai emphasized its commitment to working with the incoming administration on policies supporting American manufacturing and innovation. Global electric vehicle sales hit a record high in 2024, growing by 25% to over 17 million units only in 1 year, due to robust demand in China and Europe. Britain overtook Germany as Europe's largest EV market, in fact, driven by incentives and emissions targets. Experts anticipate 2025 to be a transformative year for the industry amid evolving policies under the Trump administration. Robinhood Markets has agreed to pay $45 million to settle U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission charges over record-keeping and trade reporting violations. The Securities and Exchange Commission highlighted multiple compliance failures, including inaccurate reporting of trading activity and delayed suspicious activity filings. The Biden administration's new rules to curtail other nations' access to advanced artificial intelligence chips have sparked frustration within the industry. The controls announced Monday, putting limits on AI semiconductor exports to 120 countries, including some of Washington's close trading partners. They're aimed at stopping China, which already faces restrictions on AI chip purchases, from obtaining the tech from other nations now. The US chip giant NVIDIA, whose stock fell on the news of the curbs, said the regulation is merely cloaked in a guise of an anti-China measure and wouldn't enhance US security, while the Biden administration is attempting to set up a global framework that will guide how artificial intelligence spreads around the world in the years to come. Ultimately, it will be up to the Trump administration, however, to decide whether to keep the new rules or how to enforce them. TikTok has dismissed the report suggesting China might allow the potential sale of the social media company's US operations to billionaire Elon Musk and has in fact called it pure fiction. The ByteDance-owned company's comments came in response to a report claiming Chinese officials are in fact exploring options to sell US TikTok operations to Musk, as the video sharing platform faces an American law requiring imminent Chinese disinvestment. Last year, the Joe Biden administration passed a law that requires TikTok's parent company ByteDance to either sell the widely popular platform or shut it down. It goes into effect Sunday, one day before President-elect Donald Trump takes office. Democratic lawmakers are urging President Biden to extend the January 19th deadline for TikTok's parent company ByteDance to sell its US assets or face a ban. ByteDance has argued that meeting the deadline is impossible and has also warned that a ban could shut down the platform used by 170 million Americans. Apple is fighting a $1.8 billion lawsuit in the UK over alleged unfair App Store commissions. The case, brought on behalf of 20 million iOS users, claims Apple's 30% fee has led to overcharging. Now, the company denies the allegations. It argues that its App Store prioritizes consumer security and privacy in fact. The European Commission is reassessing its investigations into tech giants Apple, Google and Meta under the Digital Markets Act. According to reports, the review could scale back the scope of these probes as the companies push for intervention from President-elect Donald Trump, citing concerns over excessive EU enforcement. All decisions and potential fines will be paused while the review is completed. However, technical work will go on the cases and it will continue. European regulators are now waiting for political direction to take final decisions on the Google, Apple and Meta cases. Meanwhile, British heavyweight Tyson Fury has retired from boxing again, 1 month after losing a rematch with Ukraine's Alexander Usyk. The 36-year-old Fury announced the decision in a short video posted on his Instagram account on Monday, which included a cryptic message. Listen into what Frank Warren, Tyson Fury's promoter, on whether he has spoken to Tyson since he announced his retirement. After a brief stint with Spain's Rayo Vallecano, James Rodriguez's next stop in Mexico's top flight, where he will play for Leon, one of 3 Mexican teams that qualified for the next year's Clubs World Cup. James, who signed his contract on Monday, was a free agent till now, after spending just 6 months in Spain, where he played in just 7 games. Now, Leon, a 7-time league champion in Mexico, did not disclose the financial details of the deal or the duration of it. The 33-year-old midfielder will be with his 3rd team in a year. In tennis, Novak Djokovic overcame a tough opening challenge to keep his bid for a record 25th Grand Slam title alive at the ongoing Australian Open. The Serbian tennis star battled through the first round against American Nishesh Basvareddy on Monday. Meanwhile, young guns Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz cruised into the second round with commanding performances. It was a mixed day for Australian tennis fans as Nick Kyrgios, batting fitness issues, made a spirited but unsuccessful return, while 2023 runner-up Stefanos Tsitsipas also suffered an early exit on a dramatic day 2 at Melbourne Park. The 67th Annual Grammy Awards will still air on the 2nd of February despite the ongoing California wildfires. The Recording Academy announced Monday the show will go on, but now with an effort to raise money for the wildfire relief. The show, whose host has yet to be announced, will air live at 8 p.m. ET from the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles. With fires still active in the LA area, the Film Academy has also extended nominations voting period for its members through Friday. And the Oscar nominations are being pushed back almost a week from their original date amid the ongoing California wildfires. The Academy of Motion Picture, Arts and Sciences said Monday. Nominations will now be announced on the 23rd of January. With fires still active in the LA area, the Film Academy also extended the nominations voting period for its members through Friday. Originally, nominations were announced that morning. The 97th Oscars will still happen on the 2nd of February at the Dolby Theatre. Beyoncé has contributed $2.5 million to a newly launched LA Fire Relief Fund created by her charitable foundation, Bay Good. The announcement arrived via the Bay Good Foundation's Instagram account on Sunday. The fund is earmarked to aid families in the Pasadena area who lost their homes and to churches and community centers to address the immediate needs of those affected by the wildfires. Well, that's all we have for you today. Take care and have a wonderful day.
It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. Down in Africa.
Liam transferred all his outstanding balances to his Barclay card, giving him 0% interest on all his surprises for Sarah. What you buy is your business. Helping you pay less interest is ours. Barclay card. Make money work for you.
No child should suffer the torture of trachoma, but so many are in pain right now. Nananga's lashes have turned inwards. They rip and tear away at his eyes. Pomelo's sight could be gone forever. He's just 3 years old. Kofanga screams for his mother. His eyes are so infected that he can't even see her. For so many children in the world's poorest countries, trachoma is torture. It's a painful infection often spread by flies, and it's destroying children's eyesight. But it could be stopped if you help today. By calling 0800 021 3925 and giving £2 a month to Sightsavers, you can help make sure children get the treatment they desperately need. You'll help us bring them the medicines and the care that can treat infections. And that means you'll be helping to save children from the torture of trachoma and a life of blindness. Please help us reach them. Call 0800 021 3925, text C7 to 82727, or go online and give just £2 a month now. Because we need you to help save the sight of children like Nananga. We need you to help save them from the torture of trachoma.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
Actor of the Year. By the way, my dear friends, you know, probably I am one of the first ones in the history of NDTV to have this rare, proud honor of announcing and honoring as in the place of a real hero to a reel of my own movie, Shrikant. Without a further ado, with great admiration, love, and due respect, the best actor of the year goes to Shri Rajkumar Rao. Please come on to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rajkumar Rao's versatility, dedication to meaningful cinema, and consistent delivery of powerful performances continued in 2024. His recent roles in Shrikant, Mr. and Mrs. Mahi, Stree 2,
Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal slams BJP, says they're distributing money and gold chains to buy voters, but BJP hits back at AAP, says fake allegations being levelled by Aam Aadmi Party as they know they're losing the Delhi polls. The UBT Shiv Sena hits out over RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat's remarks that India got true independence after the Ram temple consecration, saying don't do politics in the name of Ram. Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP are fighting over the implementation of central schemes in the Delhi ahead of elections. BJP slams Aam Aadmi Party, saying that Aam Aadmi Party is depriving people of Delhi. AAP hits back, says Delhi has better schemes. Adani Group stocks rally in trade. Adani Energy Solutions posts a strong Q3 growth. And over 1.38 crore take holy dip on Makar Sankranti at the Mahakumbh. First Amrit Snan at Mahakumbh underway by various akhadas. India celebrates harvest festivals after Lodi. India celebrates Makar Sankranti, Bihu in North India, while Pongal is being celebrated in South India, with Jallikattu also underway in Tamil Nadu. Is there a fallout of Australia loss? Well, BCCI is likely to reimpose stricter rules. Curbs will be on the partners of Indian cricketers. As per the sources, players should work as a unit. And breaking news coming in at this moment, at least 6 army jawans have been injured in a mine blast near the line of actual control in Nowshera sector in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri. Well, this is the breaking news that we are tracking at this hour. 6 soldiers injured in landmine blast. My colleague Nazir is joining me for more on this. Nazir, take us through the latest update. Have they been shifted to a hospital, and what is their health status currently?
Well, 6 soldiers have been injured in this blast. It is near the line of control in Nowshera sector of Rajouri district in Jammu and Kashmir. Normally, these land mines are actually laid by the armed force to prevent infiltration or any subversive attempt from across the border. But it's still not clear whether it is a subversive attempt or they have actually stepped into the landmine they have laid, because there are 8 mined areas along the line of control. That's like a normal thing. But it is clearly, 6 jawans are reportedly injured. They have been shifted to hospital, and their condition is reportedly out of danger.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Nazir, for giving us that update. Shifting our focus to Delhi Assembly election fight, well, the Aam Aadmi Party has accused the BJP of submitting fake voter registration applications on a large scale in a deliberate attempt to manipulate the Delhi Assembly election process. The Aam Aadmi Party said such tactics raised doubts on the conduct of free and fair elections in the capital. The Aam Aadmi Party has been accusing the BJP of transferring votes from across the country to the New Delhi Assembly constituency using the addresses of MPs and ministers who live in the New Delhi constituency. The election officer of the New Delhi district has responded to the ruling party's allegations of manipulation of voters' lies listed by the BJP. It said, and I quote, submissions of applications for addition and deletion of electors in the electoral roll does not automatically result in the addition or deletion of names. This is what the district election officer had to say about it. Listen into what the reactions are also coming in.
कल अरविंद केजरीवाल ने एक बहुत बड़ा एलिगेशन लगाया। उन्होंने ये कहा कि भाजपा के जो एमपीज़ हैं और केंद्रीय मंत्री भी हैं, उनके घरों से 15-20 फेक वोटर्स बनाए जा रहे हैं।
एक भी उदाहरण सामने से ला करके दिखा दें, झूठ ना बोलें। ये जितनी बार ऐसी बातें बोलते हैं, ये बात सिद्ध होती है कि ये झूठों के सरदार हैं।
सर, अरविंद केजरीवाल ने एक बहुत बड़ा एलिगेशन लगाया। उन्होंने कहा है कि फेक वोटर्स बना रहे हैं बीजेपी के एमपीज अपने घर से। कैसे देखते?
अरविंद केजरीवाल निरंतर झूठ बोलते रहते हैं। इस विधानसभा के चुनाव में नई दिल्ली से वो चुनाव हारने जा रहे हैं। उनको हार का डर सता रहा है, इसीलिए वो निराधार आरोप लगाते रहते हैं। मैं उनको चुनौती देता हूं, या मैं उनसे आग्रह कर रहा हूं कि जो हमारे ऊपर आरोप लगाया है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के एमपीज़ अपने स्टाफ क्वार्टर्स में बिहार और उत्तर प्रदेश से लोगों को लाकर उनका बोगस वोट बनवा रहे हैं, वे मेरे घर पर आएँ। मेरे घर में 5 स्टाफ क्वार्टर्स हैं। यदि एक भी बोगस वोट मिल गया तो मैं राजनीति छोड़ूंगा और पार्लियामेंट की मेमोरी छोड़ दूंगा। नहीं तो अरविंद केजरीवाल दिल्ली के लोगों से माफ़ी मांगेंगे और लोगों को ये वचन देंगे कि भविष्य में वो झूठ नहीं बोलेंगे। अनेकों बार उन्होंने झूठे आरोप लगाए हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेताओं के ऊपर आरोप लगाए हैं, अन्य पार्टी के नेताओं के ऊपर आरोप लगाए हैं, और कोर्ट में इन्होंने नाक रगड़ रगड़ कर माफ़ी मांगी है। ये आदमी जब जो चाहे अपने मुंह से बोलता है।
Poor Bharatiya gerrymandering party, it has understood that it cannot win elections because it does not have a vision, nor does it have a plan. So what it has come up with, it has decided to delete Hindu, Purvanchali, Dalit voters' names, thousands of them in many constituencies across Delhi, and in lieu of that, adding thousands of names, giving the address of its own people, like, for example, union ministers, MPs, former MPs, a lot of them. It seems that when a few weeks ago, the chief of RSS said that Hindus have to increase their population, the BJP top brass took it literally, and within 6 months, because in these places, during the Lok Sabha elections, there were only 3 people. Now there are 30 people.
And my colleague Ishika is joining me on the phone line for more on this. Ishika, take us through the latest war of words on the fake voter charge.
Well, yes, certainly, the war of words has only now intensified with Arvind Kejriwal, the Aam Aadmi Party supremo, making this big allegation that the sitting MPs and, in fact, ministers, they are making the fake voters at their official residence. Now, we also, in fact, heard the responses that we got from the BJP side. BJP's MP, Ramesh Jiduri, also going on to say that he's challenging Arvind Kejriwal to come to his official residence and do, in fact, a check. And even if one fake vote is found out, then he will, in fact, be resigning from politics and also from the post of the Member of Parliament. Not just that, we are seeing that other responses also, Union Minister Harsh Malhotra saying that this is just another lie that Arvind Kejriwal is, saying because he has no evidence and he has not put any evidence on the table for this big allegation that he's making. Over to you.
Right, Ishika, thank you so much for joining us with that update. Now, in the wake of India's poor 2024 to 2025 test campaign, the Board of Control for Cricket in India is reportedly looking to introduce some tough rules. Until now, players' families, especially wives' freedom over their stays for long tours about the Indian board is now set to make some drastic changes. According to sources, it has been suggested by one member that players' performances on overseas tours get affected negatively if they stay with their families for long durations. So will the BCCI reintroduce a rule that existed before 2019? limiting families' time with players. Is this a fallout of Australia loss? All these questions remain as my colleague Rika joins me for more details. Listen in.
All of these that we are talking about seem to suggest that BCCI wants more discipline when it comes to the Indian cricket team. We have seen certain instances of lapses of discipline during the Border Gavaskar Trophy. As a result, probably BCCI wants to crack the whip on the players, and particularly the top-notch players. And there is a suggestion that their family time may be restricted. Though, in the past, Ravi Shastri, as a manager of the team, head coach of the team, I would say, had allowed the wives and the girlfriends, the performances of the players had suddenly peaked, and the players were able to focus better on the field, and the Indian team had reached the world #1 spot in Test. However, these seem to have come up as suggestions right now. We of course don't know whether they will be implemented or not. But so far as stricter discipline rules, I think BCCI will get some of them into force before the next big tour that will come up for the Indian cricket team, that is the England tour later this year in June. While we talk about the bad performance of the players in Australia, one has to point to the fact that, it really is not the wives and the girlfriends who have been there around them and distracting them, but we really have to look back at how the Indians really prepared for this tour. Much of the attention went into the T20 World Cup that they won. There were a few one-day series in between. India really hasn't prepared for a test tour down under to be able to, keep the Border Gavaskar Trophy. That said, BCCI will take its own course, and these are some of the suggestions that are coming through at this moment.
And now a row over RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat's controversial remarks when he said India got true independence only after the Ram Mandir's Pran Pratishtha or consecration was done. Now hitting back at RSS chief's remark, UBT Shiv Sena leader Sanjay Raut has said that do not do politics over Ram Temple and that Ram Lala has been in India for centuries. That means independence cannot come afterwards. Speaking at an event, the RSS chief had said viewers that the date should be celebrated as Pratishtha Dwadashi, as the true independence of Bharat, which had faced many attacks from the enemies or from several